if I didn't make videos based on comments that people leave, how could this channel even exist? So much of the things I say are simply me responding to comments that people leave on videos that I make that were based off of comments that someone left going several videos back. All right, here's a prime example of that. I made a video recently called, "Is trying to prevent hair loss not masculine?" Very relevant question, very relevant video to anyone who is obsessed with hair loss, as well. Isn't that why pretty much everyone's here? People are like, "You're the one who's obsessed with hair loss, Nick. You make 2 or 3 videos a day." Yes, please believe that. Please believe that as you continue to watch the 2 or 3 videos I make every day. Please keep believing that. Okay, here's a comment. Wiz Solutions, been here a long time actually. Wiz Solutions, been watching my videos. Here's his comment, quote, "Anyone who gets a hair transplant is mentally weak," end quote. Let's address that. Let's talk about my opinion on that, and then let's add to that the disclaimer that I basically need to give because I'm giving my comment. Do I believe personally, for me, not the free world, but for me, do I believe that getting a hair transplant is mentally weak? For me personally, not you, me personally, yes. For Nick Shell to get a hair transplant, that would make me feel personally, mentally weak. That's how it would make me feel. Me, not you, me. It'd make me feel like I'm mentally weak. Because so much of my identity is based on not having to buy happiness. You know, let's talk about women, for example. Okay, we know that there's whole industries based on their own insecurities, right? Whatever kind of surgery you need to get. Oh, you don't like your chin? Okay, well let's get the surgery that give you like this. Get the Botox, and then before too long you're Jack Nicholson from the 1989 Joker Batman movie there, right? And so we see that happen with women. And guess what? Now that applies to men too. There's men, you have weak calves, you can get calf implants, whatever it is to feed to your insecurity. Someone's willing to make money off of you for that insecurity. And for me, I never want to be I'm a creator. I create things and make money online from people being entertained or educated by me for whatever it is. Whether it's my blog, Family Friendly Daddy Blog, whether it's my other YouTube channel, which is also called Family Friendly Daddy Blog, or whether it's this one. I've learned to make money off of people's attention span. But on a sinister level, to some degree, there are people who are wanting to take thousands of your dollars in exchange for you believing that you'll be happy. Now, with that being said, that's my opinion about myself. As far as everyone who watches my videos, I know there's lots of people who have had a hair transplant that watch my videos faithfully. People who like me. They may not like me after this video, but again, how I feel about hair transplant is not directed to the rest of the world. It's about, I'm telling you a story about myself. And I think in insecurity, people will hear how I feel about myself and still, despite my many disclaimers, think that I'm talking about them. No. What you need to do to be confident is none of my concern or interest. You have to do whatever causes you to be confident and have peace. But for me, it feels like it would be buying confidence. And I don't want to be a consumer in regard to that. I always want to be the creator. And that's exactly what I'm doing off this channel. I'm the guy who's realized that for me, confidence, I can make more money off of confidence than I can trying to help people save their hair, which is why I made the video saying I'm not the messiah of preventing hair loss. I'm the advocate of balding naturally because there's a market for that. There's not really anybody else on YouTube whose whole brand image is talking about letting it happen, just going bald and being confident and let that be the important thing. For other people, they can make, there's a guy, Hairliciously, he's got a hair transplant, he's got lots of subscribers, and I'm so happy for him. That's working for him. There's other people who have found other ways to deal with their hair loss. Does that mean that they're mentally weak? I don't know, and I don't care. Because whatever they're doing as a YouTuber, they're collecting their herd, they're following that way, collecting the masses that way, and it works for them. Good for them. But for me, what I'm doing, I'm calling everyone out from the woodwork who want to at least be open-minded to the fact of, what if you didn't have to buy happiness? So is it mentally weak? I don't want to say that to everyone else. Really what I want to say is, it's not about focus on the negative. It's not about, oh, you're weak if you get a hair transplant. Here's really my message when it really comes down to everyone else. This is my message to everyone else. Whereas before that was about me, this is about you. If I could convince you at all, my message to you, if you're considering a hair transplant, is to first consider, will that ultimately buy you the happiness that you're looking for? Or are we just masking something else? Are you truly a confident person to begin with? Or what happens if the hair transplant doesn't work out, or as you get older, you need more? Ultimately, are you going to be chasing this illusion, this mirage of what happiness is in trying to save this? Meanwhile, as you get older, you start gaining weight, you get wrinkles, your hair starts turning gray, you still age, but it's almost irrational to the point of, why are we trying to stop this one sign of aging when ultimately you're still going to have all this other stuff to work? And then do you become like a woman, like many women who are so obsessed and so insecure with their physical appearance? I'm not saying all, but for the most part, it's a very marketable thing. All you have to do is look at magazines. And what do you see in women's magazines when you're at the grocery store? You see this mixed message of showing these very thin women on the cover, but then you'll see little like titles of what the articles are about, and then it's this message to women, you just be you, you're beautiful, plus size, and all this stuff. So they're saying, hey, if you don't look like the woman on the cover of this magazine, which you don't, then you should just accept who you are. But ultimately, they're using that very thin woman on the cover of the magazine to get them to read this article that says, just as long as you believe you're beautiful, you are. So I'm very aware of that. And I think that there's a concept of as a male, we kind of transfer that way of thinking when it comes to hair loss. And I think hair transplants definitely feed into that same consumer-creator relationship. And again, I'm being very open and honest about my channel. I'm ultimately making money off of people who are obsessed with hair loss. But I'm not actually saying, and here's the cure. I'm the opposite of that. I'm like, as far as I know, there's not a cure, even though I am still using the BRB shampoo and will know next spring. I'm testing that out for them. But I'm not saying, yeah, there's a cure for it. I'm saying best thing you can do is learn to find out who you really are and be confident in who you are. But no one wants to hear that message. That doesn't sell a product. All it does is get people to watch videos. That doesn't sell a product. It's not as sexy as a hair transplant. So I'm the underdog in the world of hair loss when it comes to that. So in review, I would feel mentally weak if I had to rely on a hair transplant to be a confident person. Because we all know, I don't mind going bald. I've already shaved my head for 3 months earlier this year, and I actually felt more confident when I did it. So that's fine if that happens to me. I don't want to buy happiness. I don't want to buy that illusion. But I don't want to stop you from doing it either. Just know that if you do get that hair transplant, there's no guarantee that that's going to solve the identity crisis, which is the actual issue. Now, with that being said, I know there's going to be people who say, Nick, I got a hair transplant. Best decision I could have ever made. And my follow-up question would be, how long ago? A year and a half? See, I'd like to hear what happens like 3, 4, 5, 7 years later. And that's not to say, well, oh yeah, because your hair transplant, it's not going to hold up. No. I want to know if it actually solves the problem fundamentally, or if it just puts a Band-Aid on top. I'd love to know that. Let's talk more about hair transplants. Let's go through this journey together. Can't do it unless you leave a comment right here, though.